All right, well, we're here, everybody. We're here, back tuned in with Jim Cummings, and today we have David Ramsey.
What's
David
up?
Ramsey, everybody, give it up.
What
give
up,
it
bro? What's going on?
You know him as John Diggle from the Arrowverse, The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, what else? Everything. The whole universe, the whole Arrowverse,
all that Arrowverse stuff. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was
Life is good.
I was an OG, triple OG on Arrow. I was from the very beginning.
Damn.
Do you know that I was number 5 or 6 on the call sheet?
No way.
Yeah, man. We all took a. I don't know if Steven did, but I think.
Now, who is
me-
he? I never heard
Steven
of him.
Mel, yeah. He was the guy who played Arrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that guy.
Some white guy.
Yeah, some white dude.
Oh, okay,
Some
okay.
white dude that was ripped, just cut. Dude, it was funny too
awesome.
because it was like I found out how to play his bodyguard, and I'm like, I'm playing that white boy's bodyguard.
Yeah.
And he was shredded wheat
Oh.
in 2012, shredded, and I was like,
Oh.
okay, I got to get on that workout plan.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Did he give you some tips?
Nah, no, you know
hell
why?
no.
You know why?
I didn't need any tips.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I wanted to get. I didn't want to get that. Thing. I
Shredded.
wanted to get just big. I wanted to get like a big
There you go.
bodyguard.
That's
big,
right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know that meal plan.
Yeah, I do too. Unfortunately, it's with me. It's just tubby. You know, I'm not guarding anybody's body. I can't even guard mine. So I'll.
You're good.
Oh man. Jeez.
Yeah, that was 2012. I was number 5 on the call sheet, man, and it was really the fans that just fell in love with the show and just
Yeah.
built me up.
Yeah. Well, I'm especially excited for this podcast because, I worked with you.
know.
I was a PA for 2 years on Arrow, 6 and 7, season 6 and
now
7.
look at you.
Now I'm a little bit higher of a PA.
That's right. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
No, but like you really connected with me, and like it was cool for me because I was just a PA, and like you were like one of the few cast members who actually like took time out of your day to like check on us and like conversate with us, and like that meant so much to me. It really did. Like,
Yeah.
it was, how it is. It's so easy to be like invisible as a PA on set, So it felt like really special when like you would take the time out and like it felt like you really cared. I don't know, maybe you're just a phenomenal actor, but
No, bro. Something I did, man. I mean, I was, my pops was a layman preacher, and it was always about like just kind of like even though they we grew up in Detroit, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So it was a tough city, right? So
Yes.
as
Was?
protective, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's on the rebound. But
Yeah.
as tough as it was, there were also very warm people and told me to always be warm, never forget.
yeah.
So that's just been part of the culture I was brought
That's
up in.
nice. Your dad was a preacher, huh?
A layman preacher. He didn't have a church home, church that he preached at. He was in the house.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, he was in the house, man. He was in the
Yeah.
house.
Boy, well, that brings me back. I know it well. I know it well.
What's that?
That whole feeling. Oscar Dyke's daddy was kind of like that, around the corner.
Yeah.
And when I was born and raised in Youngstown, Ohio, Lower East Side, and we had a church, and it was one of my favorite memories as a little kid. They tried to class it up, and it was stucco on the wall right next to it. So they painted it white and then painted bricks on it. And it was it was the first psychedelic thing I ever saw, and I was like 6, and we would go, and I used to sit. One of my favorite things was to crawl out on the roof when I was a little, I don't know, like 3 and 4. I mean, young, and the little Baptist church over here, but it wasn't a church. It was kind of like the basement of whatever, I forget which was above. But the Reverend, I can't remember his name with a gun to my head, but he would go and everybody would go in. We were the only white people in the neighborhood, and everybody would go in. They were all spiffy and all looking good and everything. And everybody come out all sweating and just,
with the fan.
with the fan, yes, fanning the program, doing the fan. Yeah, that's what they were doing. And I thought, man, that's cool stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you learn. Yeah, just it was a cool upbringing. Bro. Just
Yes.
just opposed, kind of raised up like that and then kind of juxtaposed against the backdrop of Detroit at the time, which was hip hop was doing its thing, and just what was happening in the city. It was still coming out of just what white flight and the riots did in that city.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
the 60s and 50s. So it was a tough place, man, but I love it. I always go back.
Yeah.
Every year. Mom's still there.
Nice.
Dad left in 2014, but mom, brothers, sisters, everybody's still there, man. It's just
that's nice.
Home.
That's
it's
nice.
home, bro.
Right
I
on.
go
Yeah,
back
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just awesome people. City is just fantastic. It's growing again. So it's just great, man.
Knock on wood.
Right
More
on.
power too.
I know. More power to them.
Well, that's how Youngstown was. I mean, Youngstown was like little Detroit, and it was because we had steel mills. Y'all had cars.
Yeah.
And it was, the cars started driving away, and the steel mills drove away, and they still are gone. And Youngstown just sitting there being sad. I'm sorry, but it's bouncing back. Anyway, so.
Yeah, Youngstown, Ohio. Yeah, I used to get down to Ohio, get down to Sandusky.
Oh yeah,
Cedar Point.
Cedar Point, yeah.
Man, don't sleep.
Yeah, we were just talking about that the other
Everybody
day.
be out in
Cedar Point.
LA and they like Six Flags. I'm like, no, you don't.
Hey, Six Flags is still better though.
You
Yeah.
what?
Oh.
Wait, what did he say? What did this boy say?
He's an honorary communist.
I think so. Yeah, man.
No,
Cedar
I'll
Point
tell you,
was
Cedar
fun.
Point is badass. I loved it. It was great.
My son is 12, and I'm like, we're gonna go back there to Detroit. We're gonna drive everybody down to Cedar Point
Yeah.
and show you what a real roller coaster is.
Sandusky, yes. I think they have like 8.
Yeah,
8 of them.
and they had the record for a while. They had like the highest or fastest for a while.
Yes.
and it was
Yeah.
just like,
Well, it always goes back and forth between Magic Mountain and Cedar Point for who has the most roller
Yeah.
coasters in the world.
Oh, really?
In the world, yeah.
Yeah.
that's a bit of trivia. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're always duking it. I think Six Flags is one ride ahead of them right
So we
now.
can't sleep on Six Flags either. Though.
You can't sleep. No.
You got to get one of those vomit bags from the airline to bring it with you, just in case.
Just
Oh,
in
man.
case,
Yeah. Well, that's good times, though.
Well, something I wanted to bring up, just I'm looking, here at your career, and what really took me back was you played Muhammad Ali in a movie.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
We were
That
talking
was
about
way
that
back.
earlier.
Yeah.
That was back. That was 2001 or so. Okay. Ali, obviously, the big Ali you think about is obviously Wills and Michael Mann's. That's
Right.
the big- as well. You should. But me and Terrence, and again, back to the movies of the week, because that was the bread and butter back in the early 2000s and late 90s. It was just like really well before that.
Yeah.
They were all over the place. So there was a movie of the week for ABC
Yep.
of Muhammad Ali's life, and a movie of the week of Ali's life for Fox. Terrence Howard did the one for ABC, and I did the one for Fox. And obviously Will did Michael Mann's. And went to Africa.
Cool. Where?
No kidding.
We're out in Africa.
I did
You
not
were
go to
retracing
Africa.
his route?
I did not go to Africa. I was joking.
Oh.
Okay. Damn.
Well, but here's what's funny. I did another movie in Africa when Will was shooting that movie, which was an interesting thing. Yeah, but that's another story. So no, we shot it here. We shot Ali here, and came out I think 2000, 2001, one of them. And it was Ali the American Hero. It was nice. It was. I thought it was decently done.
Yeah.
But you just Michael Mann, Will Smith. What are you gonna do? That's you couldn't compare. Couldn't really challenge that. And
But-
when I look at what Will, it's funny too because I met Will at a party when he was training. We were both training,
Oh, wow.
and just big,
Yeah,
just,
he
just
did
big,
it.
sexy, just
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
just got Ali's bone structure and big, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, you know what? He got the hair.
He got the hair.
He got the hair right. He
He
got the hair
did.
right.
He did. I was like,
'Cause
I'm
it was
playing Thomas
distinct.
Hearns. He playing Muhammad Ali because he was big. He was a big boy.
Yeah. Well, if you had seen his shadow, you go, "Oh hell, I know who that is."
Yeah.
That was true.
Yeah. No, he was.
That was cool.
And you're right. He did get the hair. He got the whole thing, man. He did it. He did it.
Yeah. Terrence Howard playing Muhammad Ali, huh?
Interesting take.
Yeah.
Interesting take. Yeah. So we both had MOWs, and Will had the big feature. That was a long time. You brought it back, man. I was 20 years ago.
Well, Jim's a big boxing fan, so I wanted to bring up kind of
right?
Oh,
your
yeah.
fighting background
Yeah.
in boxing, and yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Yeah, Boom Boom Mancini's a buddy of mine
Boom
from
Boom?
Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, Detroit was a big boxing town too, as you know.
Oh God, yeah.
We were big.
Look at that. Tell me the Hitman.
Hitman.
Here we go.
Hitman Hearns. Oh, here
Special
we go.
delivery.
Speaking of
my goodness.
Hitman,
Speaking of Hitman,
Hit Girl. I think that was a cartoon, wasn't it? Hit Girl.
Hit Girl.
Yeah, I think it was.
when did you start? When did you start doing VOs?
Mid '80s.
The mid '80s for you.
Yeah, the mid '80s. It was the first one I ever did was Disney Channel, Dumbo Circus, and it was on Disney Channel. Disney Channel was like they had like 8 shows.
Yeah,
and one of them was Welcome to Pooh Corner, which I was not in. Mm-hmm. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
And then they kind of kept branching out, and it was my first audition I ever had, and I lucked out. I got the job, so I was like, okay, I'll just quit my job, and I was making like $800 a week doing that for 4 hours, and I was making $400 a week doing it for 50 hours. Working at the video store. So I did my math. Being the genius I am, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do, So yeah, now I get to hang out with you.
You worked at a video store?
Oh yeah,
I worked at a video store too.
Oh man,
that was kind of the thing. Mm-hmm. The video stores though, man. I don't know how Blockbuster did it, because it was the porn section that made the money.
Oh.
At that spot.
That could be. I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, it was 2020 video. They're now defunct. I mean, what video store isn't defunct at this point?
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, that was the section that all the other stuff barely rented.
Yeah.
You're like, how does?
Yeah,
that's how we kept the door.
Well, I can remember like a guy would come in with his family, and during the day, and they'd be renting like Raiders of the Lost Ark or some G-rated, something like that. Mm-hmm. Little something for the Dad'd be back in an hour later. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get me one of these. We don't have to. And when I come back, don't tell the kids and everything. I go, oh, get out of here. Go on. I was like, okay. Because they had some, not much, but.
Yeah.
And now they're all gone. Now it's like, sentimental journey time.
Yeah. And the adult section would always be like in like a curtained off little back corner. Right?
Yeah.
You'd have to go through.
That was what you had to.
Because I remember I was never allowed in there. I was always like, "What's back there?"
Looked at the curtain, right?
What's going on?
Yeah.
What is that back there?
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Yes. Look the other way. There's nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Okay, maybe something. So, how long have you been doing cons? Because that's like a whole new critter. Well, not new, definitely not new, but it's a new avenue from an offshoot, right? Because you did this, you were bodacious in this, and this. And then they go off the air, not in production anymore. Now you're sitting there looking at reruns, and I look at this as kind of like post reruns. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a new avenue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a new avenue, and it's I don't know, man. But now it's like, do these things ever really go out of style, right? I mean, the audience is. Mm-hmm. We did we're here in Montreal and just did a convention, obviously, and me and Steven, we had a panel, right? And we're behind stage and. MC goes out there. He's like, these two guys, blah, blah, blah. And just let them hear it, David Ramsey, Stephen. And it sounded like there were 20,000 people out there. Mm-hmm. Like nice. we just looked at each other like,
that's nice.
What? Yeah. And we went out there and there was damn near 20,000 people out there, right? I mean, it's not that big, but my point, it was packed, completely packed.
Yeah.
And it was just like, folks we're still at this point, still saying, wow. Mm-hmm. Obviously it fills you with a lot of gratitude, but also there's just the wow factor of people are still on it. People still want to see it. They're just still part of the fandom.
Yeah.
So before Arrow, there was a show I did called Dexter.
Dexter?
Dexter. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one.
And they began doing the. I had an opportunity to go with them but I was a guest star on that show. I did a couple of seasons.
Oh, that's cool.
So I didn't really.
That was a good show.
It was a great show. It was a great show.
Really good.
And master acting class working with Michael C. Hall. Really, just watching him was like, just forget about it. And they went out once, and then Arrow came, and it just changed everything. It just changed everything.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I started probably in 2013, 2014, a couple of years, probably 2014. The show was on the air for a couple of years, and I started.
Yeah. But that's when it started to click.
That's when it started to click. Yeah. And I wasn't, just, I didn't, I thought it was just folks in Star Trek that did it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't really have much of an education. In
Sure.
terms of who did cons. And it was like, no, you don't. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I was so stupid. The first one I didn't bring any pictures. I didn't bring it. We'd like to invite you to the convention. And I said, huh? What is that again now? Well, folks come here and they do this and then they like your stuff and do and you can buy comic books. And I went, oh, hell. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now now I'll be there.
Yeah.
And I realized that, and there was like 1 million people there. And the reason there was 1 million people there was because I wasn't charging 10 cents for nothing. And that lasted one con. Wait, I can sell it. Oh, we're getting some pictures. We're getting, so I don't know. It was kind of a, not rude awakening, but it was a shock because it was like a whole new area, a whole new, I don't know, revenue stream. Not to be crass about it, but
well, that's what it is.
But it is. It
is.
Be's what it am.
Yeah.
So, I'll take it. Right.
Yeah. And I guess, talk about revenue streams. I guess we should really be thinking about that now with the strike.
Yes, we're stricken right now.
How does that affect VO?
Well, apparently, according to the guys, I'm only doing a show right now, and it's a Mickey Mouse Funhouse. And I'm Pete. Well, there you go, buddy. The big cat who always beats up everybody or tries to. And, I think we're kind of on the sidelines here. We're in the gray area. But my thing is I don't want to step on anybody's toes because of all this weird stuff. And it's all the AI, which I'm not even qualified to speak about it, to be honest with you, because, I had a brush with that years ago when I did, of all things we were talking about it earlier, it was a doll, and it was a very highly articulated doll, and his eyebrows moved, and his nose and his mouth, and he kind of arms went a little bit like this, and he spoke to you, and he told stories. It was Winnie the Pooh, and I had to say every name, and I mean every name, like 26, 30,000 names, and it took forever, and it was definitely artificial intelligence because I was artificially intelligent, and so we're going on and we go through all the names. For some reason, we were in the D's and the S's forever. The Shuki, the Shoni, the Shasha, and then Chautauqua, Shazuni, Shenzi. Pooh is just sitting there talking away and it would be, well, I went down to the river to see my friend Sheboygan. And, and they would put the name in, and it was just, and we were there forever and a day. And it was kind of artificial intelligence, which is what we're doing now.
It's a brave new world, man. And it's the specifics of it, I think we're going to get into as SAG members, just what it all means.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think I heard Whitney Houston sing a Tupac song the other day.
Yeah.
Whoa. And
and they're both gone, bro.
And she is not doing it live.
Yeah,
that's right.
Or anything else live.
It's
wow.
AI. I'm exaggerating. It was Whitney Houston. I don't think it was a Tupac song, but it was some song that they artificially programmed her voice to cover. And it was Whitney Houston. You understand? It was Whitney Houston.
Absolutely.
It was like, wow. And my son, this was last year. My son told, speaking of hip hop, my son asked me what if I was writing a rap song, what would it be? And I was like, I don't know. He was like, just tell me what. I was like, it'll be about how I grew up in Detroit, whatever. He said, great. How you went to school there? And I was like, yeah.
Oh,
He put that into
a
like Chat GPT.
mix master.
it made like 4 different paragraphs to a beat, a hip hop song.
That's insane.
Wow,
That was last year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it feels like AI in the last 4 or 5 months just leapt like 8 generations. It feels like,
Yeah.
right? It just seems like it just overnight just turned on, and it was like,
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, they're able to do this stuff, man.
It's crazy. Like I've heard these stories online, you know, and like there's lawsuits, you know, some of these actresses, you know, famous actresses, they're getting their facial likeness copied and then pasted onto like pornographic actresses.
Yeah.
You know, so it looks like this celebrity's making a sex tape, and then they're like, "What is this?" You know, it's like defamation, everything like that, and that's
Wait,
like,
you mean that wasn't Angelina Jolie? What the?
And you bought it and everything.
I feel so cheated. Oh man, that's painful.
Yeah,
That's the deep fake.
So now
talking
what?
about.
Now what?
it is uncharted territory. I think that's why we're going through all this right now. You know, everybody's trying to figure it out, and like anything, you know, you're gonna have 2 groups. You know, one group's trying to get over on the other, and then the other's trying to keep it for themselves. And you know, it's quite interesting.
Boy, thank God no one wants to look like my ass. That's you know, we could do Jim. No, that's great.
But your voice is out there so much. That's
But the voice,
that's the
now
danger
that
for
I'm
you.
not too crazy about.
Yeah,
That I'll kill you till you're dead.
How many thousands of hours of you speaking are there out there?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like, in multiple
Tons
different
of material.
voices. Like it's
Yeah, well, that's like that one lady told me. She said, "We want you to do phonemes now." And do you know what a phoneme is?
No.
I never heard of it. And they're like, and st and smut and hrut, you know, and it's all these little things that you could put together to make a word. And then once you can put together to make a word, now you work on a sentence. Now you work on a paragraph. Now you got a whole story. And they didn't pay me or you or anybody else doodly squat. So no thanks.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, no thanks.
that's
No
almost like
thanks.
the first iteration of AI. Sounds like to me. You know,
Yeah.
like you don't know what you're gonna be saying. Like that's
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just getting back to the kids, and I think I may have mentioned my 12-year-old, but
yeah.
yeah, but just getting back to him, what are his kids? I mean, we could talk about him, and it's gonna be crazy. Well, what will my grandkids?
Oh, yeah.
Like I can't even imagine, because the stuff my boys talking about at 12. I was talking to at the convention somebody else about this. Like, you know, they have these things in their hand, these computers in their freaking hands, man, all day, right? You're trying to do what we were doing and get outside and throw something, and cut something,
God forbid,
and break something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
get outside. And
For
Mom
sure.
used to say, just go, just get out of the house.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
back
no,
when the
yeah.
street lights are on.
Exactly. And it's like, no, now I'm sounding old, right? But it's like, but I have to say this. My son at 12 is able to talk about stuff I was not able to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He understands politics. He knows what a black and white hole in space is and can explain to you what it is, the difference.
Damn.
Like, he's talking to me about this stuff, and it's like, I didn't know this until I was 15, 16, 17.
I don't know it now. What was it again?
The difference between a black and
that's
white hole, I
painful.
guess.
Yeah, Jesus.
And I don't understand what it is.
I didn't even know
now.
there was white holes. I knew about because Disney made a movie called The Black Hole. That's the only reason I knew about that
Yeah.
from way back
That's
then.
my first time hearing about a white hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think
No, the white hole's on the golf course. That's what he's talking about.
no, he's talking about in space, bro. I think what a black hole is singular, right? The gravity's so strong that light can't escape.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think a white hole is the opposite. That
It's like pushing everything away. It's
I think
repelling
so.
it.
I think
Oh, I got to research
maybe that's
that
where you
now.
come out on the other side.
Yeah.
maybe on the other side of the black hole is
Yeah. It's like a
white hole,
wormhole.
maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
That's
Okay, my
interesting to
brain.
think
I
about.
got a headache. I have to go lay down.
I should call my
I
12-year-old.
gotta lay down. Yeah, we need a 12-year-old. That's what we
Yeah.
need.
Yeah, we need to
know,
get
are
your
you
son on the
smarter than a
podcast.
Yeah, we need
12-year-old?
your son.
Nope.
Yeah. Jesus.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's such a good show.
Yeah, technology is. I remember seeing a graph a long time ago, and it was the technology from like the 1200s goes like this if it's on a graph, and it kind of goes like this. Then it hits the 1900s and it goes like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we went from, you know, my grandpa, God rest his soul, he was born. I was one of the youngest grandkids, and you know, and he was the oldest grandpa, and he went from horse and buggy to men walking on the moon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now you think about that. Yeah, I mean, no cars, a horse and buggy. That I mean, actual no damn Henry Ford probably was getting around to being born.
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't have any cars. He wasn't selling Fords.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, think about that. And I remember telling him this when I was a kid. I said, Grandpa, do you know that you are in the most unique generation I've in my little brain ever? And he goes, what the hell is that supposed to mean? And I said, no, it's good, you know, because he used to raise chickens, and I would hang out with him. I thought he was cool as hell, you know, and, you know, him and all of his chickens. And I said, well, because there was a picture of him on a buckboard, like when he was like 8 or something, you know, and he was,
I'm just curious about the board. On a what board?
A buckboard.
A buck.
You know, like a.
Oh, yes.
You know, and he had a mule.
Okay.
The mule was pulling him, and he was sitting on that, and I thought that was cool. And I said, and you know, last week somebody went to the moon, and you went from no cars, being lugged around by a mule, to people bouncing around on the moon making MTV commercials.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
crazy.
crazy.
That's a generation that will never be duplicated. That's
crazy.
I wanted to ask both of you, like, to me, you know, it's no mystery that technology is just getting exponentially different. But like, to me, it seems like the difference between the 1980 and 2000, you know, like how much change in that time versus 2000 to 2020. You know, I feel like if you take those two different eras in time, you know, can you guys speak to that? Like, what was the
20 years?
How have you been dealing with how fast everything?
2000 and 2000.
Oh, the Etch-a-Sketch is still kicking my ass. so you know, I'm going, look at this. You know,
because even for me, like I'm 32, and it feels like I can't even keep up anymore. Like,
yeah.
You know, and like I felt like I was on the cutting edge when I was younger. You know, and maybe that's just something that comes with youth. You know, because like
I think so.
These kids are showing us everything. You know, I'm sure your sons.
100%.
You know. Like,
oh yeah.
I think it was you know, I can't, you know, who am I? But just as a consumer, I think it was analog to digital, right? I think when everything went from rabbit ears on the television to digital, and now you can beam anything everywhere. I just think that was probably the biggest, just what the digital age did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I have to agree with that.
You know what I mean?
That's about
Everything
right.
kind of went
That's
digital,
about right? Yeah,
and you can be tracked. If you're digital, you can be found, period. And analog takes you off the grid. So once that whole grid changed, I think, where there's, you know, you cannot leave the grid now if you're digital. You're on the grid.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that kind of just changed everything. And I mean, different industries, it all changed, but I think surveillance and how you can reach people.
Boy, no kidding. Well, you know, they say you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah.
And the genie is out. You know.
Yeah, no,
It is, man.
It's
It is.
fascinating.
It is fascinating.
It really is.
You mentioned you had a 12-year-old son.
Yeah.
Does he watch any streamers or YouTubers? You know, does he introduce you to that world at all?
He introduced me to the anime world.
Okay.
He's in the anime.
Oh boy,
Big time.
Of course he is. They all are. I don't do anime, so the hell with anime. How about that? No, I had an anime. Aunt May, sorry. Anyway, yeah, it was different. Yeah,
it was right over the plate. You had to swing.
I had to swing
low and wide.
Yeah, I know that's embarrassing. I'm gonna go lay down. But yeah, it's I don't know.
No, he loves it.
Yeah. I know.
Deeply into anime.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, because Jim has some teenage daughters as well.
Yeah.
In anime.
Yeah, they're inexplicably.
Inexplicably. Exactly. Like I don't see. Well, look, I love it. I love it because he loves it. He got me into it.
Sure.
But it was kind of a brain cramp at first.
Yeah.
Like it was like, okay, it's cool. All right, great.
Yeah.
Are we done? We're 10 minutes in. Are we done now?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
One Punch Man. Got it.
And, you know, for a guy like me, because, you know, I like working for Disney or Hanna-Barbera, Marvel, and you know, when you or I or anybody does, it's really they're really articulated and their lips are moving at the right time. But animals like, oh no,
Yeah.
oh now what? You know, and you're going, what? That hurts my head.
Yeah.
I can't. Why are his lips moving and there's no sound? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah. It had to. My son had to kind of walk me into it. I had to go through anime 101.
Yeah.
And then once I got into it, I was like, oh, it's kind of dope. I see the art. I see the story.
Yeah.
It's dope. I see it. And now, you know, we're fighting each other in games. And all this other stuff.
Yeah, you play
that's
games?
cool.
What games do you play?
Well, my son told me that I have to call this the game that shall not be named.
Okay.
What's it?
The game that shall not be named.
Okay. It's a mystery.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not a mystery. It's the biggest game out there. But he's 12 and he's like, it's kind of played out now, so I don't really.
It's Fortnite.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's cool. Of course. And he's like, I don't really want people to know I'm still playing it. You know what I mean?
No, you just got to get over that. You got to like what you like.
Dude, and he's still like getting skins. And I'm like, these skins are hard, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, these skins are dope. These buying. And I'm like, I love Fortnite. You know, so it's like, it's great.
Yeah. Have you done any of those games? Voices
I have
for those
not. I have not. And
games?
Yeah. Do you get requested for voices? Do you do voices?
it's weird because people ask me that all the time. And no. No.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. Well, his dad is crushing it.
Yeah.
You know,
you know my dad.
tell him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah,
God
yeah,
of War.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know. And
He's killing.
Yeah, it's just crazy the evolution because even talking even with Nolan yesterday, like Nolan and my dad technically both
he's
do
all
video
over it.
games,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
in such a different capacity, because my dad's doing the motion capture and all that. Like, they're performing in a void. They're in like the room with the black suits and the white dots all over them. So they're like really acting out the scenes. So it's not like it's not necessarily like traditional voiceover. It's like
that's for sure.
It's almost like a new medium, and I don't know, like. How Disney and Marvel
lot
came
of
out
body
with the
language,
void, where like actors are in a void now, and it's like a big like 360 digital space where it's like you're immersed into this world, and it's like, it's almost movies are becoming almost like video games with the amount of animation. Go watch the Avengers.
Oh God, yeah.
3/4 of that's going to be CGI animation.
Yeah,
right?
no kidding.
100%.
And then video games are becoming so cinematic that it's interesting for me to see where it goes.
Yeah, they're meeting in the middle.
Yeah. But also the video game industry is 3 times as big as the film industry. Like
Which
it
boggles the
generates
mind.
3
That does
times
boggle
as
the mind, right?
much. 3 times as much. I mean, if you think about it, a video game's what? $79.
Yeah.
And there's I bought Red Dead Redemption multiple times. And like if I go to see a movie in a theater, they're getting what? $30 out of me, and then $5 when I buy it on Amazon Prime. You got $35 out of one movie from one customer. Red Dead Redemption got $250 out of me, and that's not even including microtransactions. Within the game.
Within the game,
I'm gonna
that's
pay.
true, huh?
Buying skins in Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay, and they're not cheap.
I know they're not. I sell my bill.
Like it.
Dad, can I get? I know he's 12, but my son sounds like that. Dad, can I get he's gonna kill me. Can I get another skin right here? How much it cost? Well, it's a whole pack for $8.99. I'm like, all right.
Oh man, yeah. Create a monster.
$1 billion, multiple billions of dollars.
Most highest
That's
grossing
painful.
video game of all time, and it costs nothing to play. Costs nothing. It's a free to play game, and it's the highest grossing video game of all time because of those skins. Because everybody buys those skins and everything within the game. It's almost like collecting, anything like
license to
Lego,
print
Pokemon
money.
cards.
Yeah,
it's just
pretty
a
much.
digital version now.
Yeah.
We all collected that. What did you collect when you were young?
Oh Jesus.
Baseball.
Yeah. Comics, just thousands of comics.
And you still do to this
Still
day.
do, yeah. I got them sitting over here.
You still in the comics today?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a Marvel guy. Batman and Marvel.
Batman and
Yeah,
That's the only DC character you're gonna take.
yeah. Well, Superman every now and then. Because Superman, he can do any goddamn thing in the world.
Right.
David's in the
Okay, well,
DC verse,
okay.
right? David's in the DC verse, right?
I grew up on X-Men. I
But
Yeah.
I know.
I grew up on X-Men and but I mean Spider-Man and Batman were the joint.
Yeah, I mean DC was there first for me.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, for me, I guess whatever age group I'm in, but it was I just had tons of Batman, tons of Superman, and Green Lantern I used to think was pretty cool too.
Yeah, Lantern was nice.
And Green Arrow was cool because he didn't have superpower. He was just really good, and I used to think, wow, okay, that's cool. That you're really good at with the bow and arrow. People do have guns. You can get a rifle.
Yeah.
You'd probably be pretty good at a rifle.
Strap it on your back instead of that bow.
Yeah, the bow is cool. And he would always, my favorite thing was when he would have trick arrows.
Yeah. Yeah. We did a little episode one time. I think it was, I'm trying to remember what it was. But in homage to that, there was a scene where Steven was fighting some folks in a boxing ring. And he put the arrow inside of the glove.
Wait, what? Oh.
Yeah, because that was a big thing in the old comic book. Like he would have a glove arrow, boxing glove arrow.
Yes, I remember that. That's what I'm saying. And it would look, oh no, and a big old stupid Joe Frazier glove sitting on the end of this thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's funny.
Smoking Joe.
Yeah. And it was like the size of a beer can, the quiver that he had.
Right.
So where'd you get that from?
And he never ran out of arrows.
Never. Never ran out of arrows. Oh, man.
The digital world gave him unlimited supply of arrows.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because on set, explain how they would film like a shooting of an arrow on set. Because I know him, but
yeah, that was all not real. Yeah. So
wait a minute. Are you what?
But there was like a specific process.
There was. Steven would draw back, whoever was firing arrow would draw back, and then they would take an arrow and walk it through the scene so they could track it and make it do whatever they wanted to make.
Holy Robin Hood, Batman.
Yeah. They would like walk it through. Like,
damn, it would. Wow.
I'm an arrow walking through the scene.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd they hide the hand? Or did they?
I think they needed just reference.
It was just
points.
like
just reference points, like the tip.
It was
and
like
maybe a tail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
just a reference.
So it was a stunt arrow.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I don't know.
It was a stunt arrow. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all digital, man.
Yeah.
It's all going back to digital.
Sure is.
Boy, ain't that
Do you think that's a good or a bad thing, both of you?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, we can't put the toothpaste back in the bottle.
Yeah.
It has to go. It has to move forward, man. We have to keep moving forward.
But do you think we have to abandon practical effects for that?
No. I think that's the challenge, right? I mean, even with the strike, I think, the challenge. You might hear from the production companies. Well, we don't know how this is going to shake out. We don't know what AI is going to turn into.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That is the point. We don't know. So how do we protect ourselves against the things we don't know?
Yeah.
And that's tough, but that's what the process is. That's where we are.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say hold back the future. You have to, but we have to take our time and talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We just can't.
Yeah, well, there's no stopping it.
There's no stop. No. There's no stopping it. There's no stopping getting the. And it's funny too. I told my son's mother. I was like, before he got the iPad, he started playing Roblox first, right? That was his first stuff. Started playing.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And I gave.
Oh, sorry.
I gave him the. And I said, once we give him and introduce him to the gaming world, once we introduce him to that,
bye.
this,
see you tomorrow.
Exactly. Let's sit on the floor playing with them and do it.
That's right.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Boy, yeah, you're right about that. That I do lament that. That's why I'm glad there's frisbees out there. Can we do a frisbee? Let's do that.
Man, frisbee used to be the joint. That used to be it. You know what I mean? Running, trying to catch it, throw it over the back, throw it between your legs, throw it.
Yeah, that and kites. I was a big kite guy.
You were in kites?
Yeah, I don't know why. It seemed like a lot of fun. They would get that thing up there and then, here, now hold this. Now she has to stand there for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, we're good now. We can go home now.
No, I bet back in Ohio, you got the same thing I did. Remember those ice storms?
Ooh.
Where the whole streets would be ice.
You
LA boys don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, and then what would happen is it would get warm during the afternoon for about an hour and a half, and the ice would melt on the roof and come down and then start pouring over the gutter. Then it turned into 500 pounds of ice.
Yes. And then broke your gutter.
And then it broke the gutter.
Yeah.
And then my grandpa and my dad were, the goddamn son of a goddamn piece of, hand me that goddamn. Everything came from.
And you knew exactly what he was pointing at. You didn't say it. You just said goddamn.
Damn it, the goddamn, everything came from the same company. The goddamn company. It was all. Yeah, okay. Was it? Do you want the goddamn wrench or the goddamn screwdriver? What are you teaching that boy? I'm going to wash your mouth out. But he said he wanted the goddamn one. I was like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Man. Ice storms. We'll break out the sled. We never took the sled, to something. You have a sled in the garage. Well, we didn't have a garage. You had to look like a little shed in the back.
Yep.
So we had the sleds back there, but the sleds were for the streets when they turned into ice. Like you would think, those kids are gonna go out to the park or something and get on some ice, some frozen pond. Nope. We're about to go down the street, bro.
Yeah.
For the ice.
That's
Oh,
great.
God. And I remember we had a coal furnace. So what would happen? Now nobody in the world is going to know what I'm talking about now unless you're like my age. And it was, you throw the coal in the furnace, light the furnace, it burns. The house smells like coal. And but it doesn't turn into complete ash like charcoal does. It turns into what they call clinkers, and it looks like Martian rocks. And you had to clink and you had to grind on the thing to grind in through the clinkers, and they would go like this. And then you could put more coal in to get more clinkers, and all that stuff fell down there. You waited till it cooled off. Then you got a big stupid shovel and put it in a barrel, put it in an old tin cup. Then you would take that, put it in your trunk of your car. Because if you got stuck on a hill and you didn't have snow tires, because we didn't have snow, I don't think they were invented yet, you would go back and get out the damn clinkers from the old coal chute and throw them under there, and you get traction, and you can drive out of the rut. And it was,
I've never heard a story like that.
I feel like I'm Daniel Boone over here,
Or Andy Griffith.
I'm Davy Crockett over here. Yeah, so I can't do it either. But yeah, that was a true story. And there's, there's like two old farts over there going, Jesus Christ, I remember that. I was a pain in the ass. Yes, it was.
So you would take coal, throw it in the back for traction.
Yeah, well, it would turn into clinkers, and it looked like Martian rocks. It didn't look like coal anymore. But you got good traction in snow.
Wow.
I don't know. And we're sitting here looking at this beautiful landscape, and no snow in sight. Thank you.
No.
We'll take it.
Well, when did you leave Ohio? How old were you?
17.
Well, you know the snow then. You know that snow.
I knew all about the snow.
Yeah, man.
I went to New Orleans. I went to Mardi Gras and never went back.
Really?
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it. I said, it's warm here. A lot of chicks,
I think this is home.
Yeah, this is home. Yeah.
Yeah.
And phone calls were a nickel. How about that? A dime, like a payphone?
Yeah.
A payphone, yet another ancient practice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I saw this thing. Listen, we just sitting right here like some old farts talking about, I saw the.
Yeah.
No, but really, I saw this. What was it? Must have been a TikTok maybe. And these two kids they put a rotary phone next to them, so that show us how to work it.
I think I know. Yeah.
Show us how to work that.
Yeah.
And they were like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. They're holding up a crucifix in case it's cursed,
Yeah.
Might turn you into a caveman. Careful.
One thing that really got me is like, when you would hand signal, like I'm on the phone, you used to do this. And like you see kids these days and they do this. It's like a completely different hand signal. It's like, oh, they're holding a smartphone. Like they don't know, like, what is this?
That's creepy.
Yeah,
I
that's
never
right.
even knew that.
Yeah. It's like,
So
like,
when kids doing this, you talking about the phone?
Ask your son, mime like you're on the phone. I guarantee he does it like this.
When I leave my son's
people
mother
used to
and I say, call me, maybe that's why he's looking at me weird, because I'm like, he's like,
banana?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, that's painful.
that's funny.
God. Well, that's all
Yeah.
right. Well, I'd rather get old than die.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? What the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah.
I have to bring up this story because it's from my time on Arrow, and
Yeah.
I want to know if you remember this.
Here we
So
go.
we were down on what was that little place? It was right in front of the casino. You know that parking lot we would set up circus in front of the little oceanfront. What was that? The park.
That was
Park Casino.
Park Casino. It was right at the seawall. Right?
Yeah. So one night we were on location down there, and I remember I'm sitting in the van because I was the van driver. I'm sitting in there, and then I just hear like the radio going nuts. Like there's some controversy. I'm like, what's going on? And then it comes out you had a bunch of stuff stolen out of your trailer.
Yeah,
You remember that? Can you tell us that story?
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
It was crazy too because there were a few things I got back in Detroit. I had a little money. I made an Arrow, and I wanted a couple of watches. And there were some places in the sales tax in Michigan was less than it is in Vancouver, or Los Angeles, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I go back and I want a nice watch, I'm going to go to the spot in Michigan.
Yeah.
So I did, and I got a couple things, and I got some stuff that when I was younger, and there's some other jewelry that was old that I got that I had, like a sophomore in college, I bought a little ring or something. So anyway, I was like, let me take all that stuff back to LA, get it out of my mama's house. So I had it in the backpack, and hadn't yet made it home in LA to drop it off. And it was right there in the spot with my clothes.
Dang.
So, and then I walked in my trailer. The door was kind of ajar, and it was like all of it gone.
Dang. I didn't know there was
Crickets.
sentimental stuff too.
Yeah,
Dang.
and then there was
terrible.
there was a camera in there that had my son's, like, I only have one child, and it was his first year of life, like all these pictures and video that was all in there, bro.
No.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah.
Dang.
So I was
That's even
like-
a bigger deal than I thought.
I know, man.
Dang.
I was just like,
sorry about that one.
yeah,
God
that was
bless.
tough. That was tough.
Dang.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
tough.
yeah.
That was tough.
Oof.
So yeah, and at the time I wasn't quite getting the response that I wanted from the powers that be that were on set at that time.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, bro, you don't understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You're gonna listen to this. We're not rolling cameras.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Oh,
Dang.
that's
So, yeah.
terrible. Yeah, those are the kind of things. You can't replace the things that are tug on your heartstrings.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I can buy a new car.
that's right. Or a
But
new
I-
watch,
but-
but it was
yeah,
that
yeah.
that camera, those pictures. It was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah, because I remember hearing like through the grapevine, it was like a Rolex and like some other stuff,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
nobody.
That was
really
bad
knew that.
enough.
yeah, that was bad enough.
For,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dang.
Hey, Judge,
Yeah.
you got my Rolex, bro?
Yeah.
I knew it.
That's where he's going with
knew
it.
it. I
That's
knew
where
it.
he's going with it, right?
Yeah,
You're like,
let-
yeah. I just heard it was like a
Well, wait a
bright
minute, I
with
saw him
a
wearing one the
blue
other
I
day.
should
strap.
give it back. I feel bad now. I should give it
It
back.
was a date just, right? Right?
He's not wearing it now. Where'd you put that one? Okay. No, I didn't say anything.
Right.
Yeah, you go. Oh
I'm
man.
kicking your ass, Judge.
No, man. No, they treated me well on that show. Like they treated me really well. They would let me leave and audition in the middle of the day. Like,
Oh, did they?
oh yeah, I filmed the 100 while I was working as a van driver. Like,
Dude.
I bounced out. I got all
That
my
ain't bad, huh?
prosthetics,
I know, right?
everything. Like, oh yeah.
That's when
Corey-
you have your cake and eat it too.
Just want to
Yeah.
say that.
Corey and oh shoot, I forget his boss's name, but they were the location managers. And literally I told them, like acting's coming first for me, like that's where my passion is. But like, I'd love to be on set and make some money. And they were like, I'd been like day calling on different sets, like movies of the week. And like I worked on Deadpool and like, I don't know, I guess Vancouver's small. So people are like, this dude's a really good van driver, like he has an organized shit, like he's on his stuff, like everything like that. And so, the ALMs on Arrow heard, and literally they paid me a day rate just to come in and ask me if I wanted to be a van driver. And that was like, dang, like
Wow.
that like made me feel good.
Okay.
I was like,
Hell yeah.
hell
Ask
yeah.
me something else.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and I go out and they show me around VFS and they show me around and like I get lunch out there and I was like, I told them like, I need to be able to do my auditions. I need to be able to leave like 16. How long are the days we're doing on Arrow?
Crazy days.
Like 15-hour camera days, right? Like,
Damn.
and I was like, yeah, I need to be able to, long story short, they were like, yeah, no problem. Like, whatever you need, like, you know, you need days off, you know, if you're on set, like, no problem. Tell us the day before. It's good. And I was like, oh, yeah. So that was like really like a good job for me, you know, like being able to still pursue acting, but still be in the industry. Like, that was like invaluable experience, you know, and then just meeting people and like now reconnecting, like, it was cool, you know. The hours, you know, while I was going through it was like kind of like, dang, like, you know.
Yeah.
I remember one week I worked 99 hours. 99 hours in 1 week.
How many hours are in a week? Wasn't that every day, all
and I
day?
remember we're wrapping on Friday and we're cleaning up in VFS. And I remember
the limit of the hours
I was
of the
gonna
week.
say, yeah.
I remember asking my boss, I was like, can I stay on the clock for one more hour? Like, I just want to be able to say I've worked 100 hours in a week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm at 99. Why not just go an extra hour?
Yeah.
And he was like, there's nothing else to do. I was like, I'll sweep for an hour. Like, I'll pick up trash for an hour. Like, I don't
I'll
care.
think something.
Right.
And then he's like, no, go home. Like, it's going to look bad on the freaking time card or whatever. And I was like, and 99 hours doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it's that 1 hour that push it over.
Yeah, no, that show
one
was a
extra digit.
grind. That show was a grind.
Yeah. I know people that I went to other shows, right? And I went to Flash and Super, all the other shows.
Yeah.
And it was like war wounds from Arrow. You know, when folks are like,
Oh, man.
oh yeah, I got this job here, bro. I did Arrows. They're like, nothing. We're doing like 12-hour days. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did Arrow. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when you go through that boot camp, they
Been
were
to
like,
the wars.
Yeah.
been through it.
I remember people talking about a series of unfortunate events. They were filming that in Vancouver at the same time.
Oh.
And some, you know, we would get day players or whatever from the crew that would come over and they'd be like, that's the best show ever. We got a children cast. They can't work more than 8 hours a day. Like, we're done by
That's
lunch
true,
every
huh?
day. Like,
Yeah.
That helps. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
why couldn't they have paid me to be on that?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's why they hired twins on Full House.
Yeah.
Really?
You
Yeah.
get two kids for the price of one. Or
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, like Dylan
You
and
know.
Cole Sprouse too, like Big Daddy, and you know they were replacing each other a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun facts to know and tell about showbiz, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
Well, just
know.
one
I
more thing
know.
I just wanted to get to is like online. There's like really like none of like your career really like your personal life before your acting career. So like I wanted to ask you like when did you decide you wanted to be an actor and like what kind of got you in and going into that?
Yeah. What got me into acting? You know, my brother did a play, and he's always been somebody I admire very much. My older brother, and I thought I wanted to play football. I thought that's what I was going to do, play football.
There's a little of that going around.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, your brother's game. Thanks for allowing me to.
Oh man,
Share that moment with you,
fun.
bro.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that was really fun.
How did he respond last night?
Oh man, he was actually like, I don't know. We called him and he was kind of like standoffish. Like it's almost like he didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he like got into like they cut it out on TV, but you could kind of see in the body language he was kind of getting into it in the beginning of the game. And then we were asking him about that, and he was like, "Talk to me tomorrow. Talk to me tomorrow."
Oh, something's going on.
Yeah, so we were like, "Oh dang!" But
No, he
obviously
keeps
he's
it close
happy
to
for the
the
win.
vest end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
a very like solemn dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
you know, like,
okay.
yeah,
That's just his personality.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, so my brother did a play, and I was like, oh, you know, I want to do that. And that was in football, and I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Just watching him, you know, he was just so natural.
Yeah.
And then it just blocked theater, just as much as I could get of it, you know. And
Yeah.
then I started doing some commercials in Detroit. It was always an automotive commercial.
How old are
someplace.
you now?
Well, I started theater as early as I could. I was 14. And I just
Oh, okay.
when I went to high school,
Like
I just,
local, like
just a little local,
theater.
just high school.
High school. Yeah.
And community theater started when I was around 16. I got some community theater jobs, and then I went to Wayne State University at school in Detroit, and got a theater BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts theater theater degree, and just did theater, professional and community theater, just throughout the city, and got an agent, got a headshot, and I was like,
Oh, here we go.
let me send it to an agency. They were like, come on in, got a nice face, do these commercials. So GM Chrysler, here I come.
Yep.
And then it was like, it's
works.
funny, the power of mama. I got accepted to University of Southern California when I was in high school.
Okay.
And they were like, come on out here, we'll take care of stuff. And my mother said, baby, you're just not quite ready for Los Angeles. I didn't want to hear this at 17, bro.
Was she right?
I'm about to get to that. I'm like, I don't want to hear that, bro. I want to go to California.
Yeah.
She was like,
Sure,
you know,
Ma?
she's like, Wayne State's gonna give you a full ride. Just go there for a year or two. And California's not going no place. And I was like, you know, you're right. Mom was right, but she was right for a few reasons. She was right that I wasn't ready because once I got out to California 4 years later, 17, you probably wouldn't be talking to me right now.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
It would have eaten me up. But here's, you know, and I talk to a lot of kids, right? That's like, oh, well, how do I do something?
Oh, yeah.
And my pops always used to tell me there's something in your hand. And I was like, you know, what I'd always meant. And what he meant was that, you know, you want something. So something you want, you really want. But there's something that is in your hand right now or within your sphere of influence that you're not seeing that's vital to you getting what you want.
That's really good advice.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember him telling me that, man. And it was like, there's something in my hand at Wayne State. There's something in my hand right now in this conversation.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
something that can help me and other people.
Kind of
There's
like a
something.
bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Mama used to always say that.
Yeah.
So anyway, she said,
That's wise.
Stay here in Detroit. So I went to Wayne State. Everybody knew by the time I was a senior in Wayne State, I was known in the city as an actor, doing professional theater. And everyone knew I was going to LA. So by the time I was about to leave, that dean of the department, the theater department, said, Dave, you know, you should know a few people out in LA. I know someone. Let me give him a call. He just so happened to know the head of daytime casting at NBC.
Oh,
Right? So he made a call.
that's not bad.
Not bad. He made a call. She faxed me size, because back then you were faxing everything.
Sure.
Right? She said, will you come out here, just audition for me, right? So I went out there before I graduated because there was a friends going out, went out there, and I auditioned for her. She said, you need an agent. Right there, she called 3 agents.
Dang.
Right there,
Dang.
Wow.
right? And I went to all 3 meetings, one stuck, and I stayed in LA. I went to LA and I stayed.
That's awesome.
And I had an agent when I got off the boat. You know what I mean? Because I had
Yeah.
already had,
Yeah.
I went back to Detroit, graduated, then came back to LA with my agent.
Yeah.
So,
Nothing wrong with that.
man, it was just great. But
Wow.
but going back to that advice of like, you know, use this place where you are. You know, so a lot of kids ask me like, oh, you know, I'm in this little small town and I can't wait to get to LA. What advice will you give me? I'm like, stay in your small town
Yeah. Well, you know, that's like
and
the old,
exhaust everything there.
the old line, bloom where you're planted.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you bloom.
Yep,
Go ahead.
yep. Because
You
there's something there that you're
Yeah.
gonna learn. And it wasn't just that contact. That's the obvious reason why it's like, oh, thanks, Mom, great advice. But it just I grew.
Yeah.
I grew.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was 17 to 21. You know,
Yeah.
by the
Those
time
are
I left.
You changed a lot in those 4 years. Yeah.
Wow. No kidding. Yeah, like a generation in 4 years.
So that was
So
my LA
true.
experience, man. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I went out, and it's
Still
been
going.
It's been great, man.
Yeah. God bless.
It's been great. It's been great
Yeah.
for both of us.
Yeah. Hey, amen. I had a similar thing like that. I ended up getting the very first job I ever auditioned for. But thank you, Lord, you know. And then next thing I knew, I was working, and it's kind of like what you just said. You know, I didn't dive in. I wasn't like 18 or 19. You know, I was 30. You know, and I said, okay, well, I think I'm ready. Cracked my knuckles, gave it a shot. Now I'm hanging out with you.
We're hanging out with each other, man.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful thing.
It is beautiful. It is
Yeah.
beautiful. And you can be on this couch one day, one of these couches.
Oh,
like, yeah, man, it was great. Just coming up.
I'm just trying to get on the other side of that table at the convention, man.
I used to be. That's
a matter of
right.
time. Just a matter of time.
Well, he'll be there. He'll be there.
1,000%.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
yeah.
Yeah. So enjoy him while you can still, you know.
While I'm still a PA.
Well, yeah. While he's not charging you.
I know, right? Exactly.
You heard it.
$60 a picture, Playboy. $60 a picture.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, there was one convention. We went to Dragon Con last year, 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago now, wasn't
Something
it?
like that.
And just for fun, like, you know, because I was on the 100 for a couple episodes. And so I printed out a couple of little headshots. And I was like, Jim,
Yeah.
can I go
I
on the
remember
end of
that,
your
yeah.
table? Like, I'm just going to sneak on and
Yeah,
see
just-
if anybody
yeah.
is like, oh,
Anybody.
yeah. Like, nobody. It's like, what are you doing here?
Right.
Well, they're lost. The hell with them. Bunch of stiffs.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah, man.
So, is there something we should be looking forward to?
You know something? No.
Okay, but I mean, no, I mean these conventions count.
Yeah. Any conventions
Well,
coming up
something-
where we can
they
see
count.
you?
No, that's
People,
nice.
I love them.
They will be hearing some things soon in terms of the convention. There's one I have in Brazil.
Brazil.
Coming up soon.
I can hear the music.
Yeah? Did you like Brazil?
Yeah, I know, but I can hear the music.
Yeah, and there's Boston might be happening. We'll see what happens with that, and some other ones might be happening.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much. And we're working on a little low budget movie that I'm putting together as a director.
All right.
Yeah.
Can't really talk about now.
Yeah.
But it's I'm very excited about that. So hopefully when the strike is over, that we can get to production.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
There's only so much you can do right now.
Yeah, very true.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Wow.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
man.
That was a
Thanks,
great
guys.
conversation, man.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I'm
guys are
I'm
great.
glad we
The
bumped
crowd
into
went
each other.
wild.
I know, man.
Yeah.
We like you came out
Let's
the
hear it.
elevator and you
Yeah,
just
literally,
and
literally
hustled me.
Yeah. That's right.
What can I say, man? That's who I am.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Brother.
It's a beautiful thing.
Appreciate you.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
I'll be around.